If you control language, you can control thought and action. Today, we have the language and thought police in academia, in Hollywood, the establishment media, corporate America and beyond, who are imposing the politically correct vocabulary of woke culture and the social justice warriors.
The German, Russian and Italian languages have all deteriorated in the last 10 or 15 years as a result of dictatorship. But if thought corrupts language, language can also corrupt thought. A bad usage can spread by tradition and imitation, even among people who should and do know better.
But while censorship is destructive, especially the corrupt and dishonest censorship of the left, it's nowhere near as bad as mangling words into nonsense in order to achieve your goals. If the people in this country are divided, they're going to have to be able to reason together. And in order for them to reason together, words have to have agreed upon meanings.
It's a beautiful thing, the destruction of words. You won't have seen the dictionary, 10th edition yet, Smith? It's that thick. The 11th edition will be that thick.
Well, the revolution will be complete when the language is perfect.
The secret is to move from translation to direct thought to automatic response. In 1984, George Orwell called it Newspeak. Look at this quote. Don't you see that the whole aim of Newspeak is to narrow the range of thought? In the end, we shall make thought crime literally impossible because there will be no words in which to express it.
There's this weird language thing happening there with all these like he called it desensitizing or sterilizing language. And that's what's happening. So it takes all that meaning away, right?
Yeah.
So nobody knows what it means except for the guy preaching it.
I think the way they do it is through Orwellian language. So what they mean is free speech is hate speech, because you could be cruel to some group. And censorship is called trigger warnings. Segregation is safe spaces. And having some skepticism that man-made global warming is sort of creationism or denialism.
Left-wing collectivists enjoy acquiring a certain linguistic hegemony because they know that that's part of the way they can win the battle, and that's what they were trying to do when they passed compelled speech legislation in Canada, as far as I was concerned. So I made a video saying, I'm not going to abide by that because I'm not using the reprehensible linguistic maneuvers of collectivists who I detest.
Like the Antifa books are crazy. They talk about the collection of capital, the you know, any kind of racist or sexist or whatever language as they want to determine it being a form of violence. They call these things like epistemic violence, and in some of the literature they call it discursive violence. In some of the literature, sometimes they just call it violence. In queer theory, you know, calling somebody saying you're a man or a woman is called a violence of categorization.
The left knows that language is a weapon. Control what a person can say, and you may not control his thoughts, but you will chain his thoughts up inside him.